All right, hello everybody. This is my final project for genetics. I'm doing the first option, which is to create a phylogenetic tree based off an inanimate object. So here you can see I made my tree out of pie. So here we have the main line on the tree, which leads to key lime pie. But first we have the outgroup splitting off, which becomes chicken pot pie, because none of these other pies are closely related to it at all. Okay, so the first branch is going to lead to chocolate and egg custard because they're both a milk-based pie. You make it out of milk, egg, chocolate, stuff like that. So they're both sweet pies, but they don't really relate with the other ones. So the next branch is going to branch off into pumpkin and sweet potato. So at this point right here, we kind of start getting into our fruits and veggies and gourds, that kind of pies. So pumpkin and sweet potato are very close related in taste as well as texture. So I thought that they fit a little further back here. So next we get into our fruit pies. So apple branches off first because it's not quite like the fully evolved form, which is key lime and lemon. Key lime and lemon are very similar in how they are, and that is why the main line led to key lime and the last branch was lemon. Okay, so for the antigenesis in this, antigenesis is the gradual evolution from one species to another. In this case, key lime pie, because as you can see, it's the main center line that everything else branches also off of. So let's say the original common ancestor back here was pie. So if the common ancestor was pie and it evolved into chicken, milk-based pies, gourd pies, and then right here is the fruit pies, and then lemon branches off, and then you get the key lime. So it evolved eventually throughout this line. While on the other hand, we have cladogenesis, which is the splitting or branching of evolution to another species. So pumpkin and sweet potato are a great example of this. While the main line led to key lime and fruit pies, pumpkin and sweet potato branched off and became their own sort of thing. Okay, next is the operational taxonomic unit, which are the OTU. So here for the fruit pies, we can see the OTU, which is the unit of measurement right here. So it's 3 OTUs for apple. That's the length of this branch. And it's going to be 2 OTUs before lemon and key lime split off. So that's going to be right there. And then 1 more OTU each for where lemon and key lime split. Okay, a rooted tree is what this is. It all branches from one source. It doesn't split off into 2 and becomes different things. It all branches back to one original common ancestor, which we will see in a bit. So the internal node is the next step. Any node that has nodes underneath it. So an internal node, once again, pumpkin and sweet potato are a good example of it. So internal node is right here, and then it branches off into the pumpkin and sweet potato. While it's not the original common ancestor, which is what we have here, most recent common ancestor, that is what all the nodes have in common on the tree. So let's say that pie crust was the common trait of this common ancestor. Every single pie on here has a pie crust. So you can say that pie was the original common ancestor, and it all dates back to pie.